on study areas. Then we use this link. You could close with close the inside. Okay, so oh, we ran time. So one more minute. We can start. Yeah. How does it sound? Sounds good. Hi, good morning. This is Andrew Lowsutea, President. Well, hopefully you guys have a wonderful weekend. And today actually is a webinar will be very good for you to really understand what exactly caffeine do to your blood sugar. Now, a lot of people ask me this question because, as you know, we all have a culture potential of drinking coffee. And the key is many of them could drink 4 to 5 cups of coffee a day. And they say, wow, what would you do my blood sugar? Now, as you know, coffee actually, if you do 5 cups a day, actually can be potentially increase your potential heart issue because when you drink coffee, there are palpitation, but the caffeine tend to affect different people, different time, different thing. So you really cannot have saying that, oh, all caffeine is the same. So that's why today I think the webinar will be really good because it really gives you a better understanding what is really caffeine is all about. And so that way you can able to have an idea what is caffeine is about and how can you prevent you being over drinking of the caffeine in your daily life and that affect your blood sugar, especially type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic. And that's why we create this webinar for you to better understand caffeine. And some people drink caffeine, they're okay. I mean, that's nothing happened and the blood sugar stay fairly, just a little bit spike and come back down. But unfortunately, when you are type 2 diabetic, that might be a different story. And so people who have the ability, they come back and tell me that, oh, when I drink coffee, my sugar spike up to over, 7, 8 or something like that, or meaning they go over 140, 150 sometimes. And so, I said, yeah, well, for you, maybe it is something different, but for other people, it might be different. So today, I hope that we can clarify all that for you and you have a better understanding what really truly caffeine do for you. So it will be a good webinar to kind of understand to learn. And I think that will be super good. Okay, good. So let's start. Edwina, can you hear me? You hear me? Give me a 1, please. That would be good. I just want to understand that, you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, good. Okay, this is today's lecture. And it is going to be a very good lecture. You can learn a little bit more about caffeine. And I think that will be what it can affect you on blood sugar. Now, so we will talk about how caffeine influence your blood sugar and also how influence your insulin sensitivity. So basically, insulin is so important to take sugar in the cells, right? And why some people can spike sugar and some don't, and when is the best time to have caffeine and it's safe for you, and really how can you swap, this instead of drinking caffeine coffee or drink Lowsutea to help you out set up your habit, changing that beverage habit, that can be very helpful. And I think that's what we're trying to discuss today. I think that will be a very good webinar for you, better understanding what can help you to lower your blood sugar and cholesterol and blood pressure. So that's what we're trying to do. Now, I saw a lot of people today who are not in my familiar name list, so I know some of them are very new to our program. So I always catch up a little bit on what is, the 4 stage of diabetic, how it's being formed. Now, in pre-diabetic stage, meaning the first stage when it comes in, usually LDL, the bad cholesterol, goes up. And when the bad cholesterol goes up, it damages the B cell coming out from the pancreas. The B cells will take sugar to the cells. And so you have fuse, right? So when B cells keep coming up, but the cholesterol keep damage the B cells, so no longer going to the cells, so blood sugar continue to increase your bloodstream, going up, 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 up. Now the problem going to start. The LDL cholesterol adding the sugar, the blood become thick, and you got to start forming plaques in the vessel walls. And when you form plaque in the vessel wall, what can happen is they're going to start blocking everywhere, from the heart to lung to brain, everywhere. Okay, so net result of that, because the vessel wall get plaques, so you have less space, the blood pressure start going up. So second stage, like blood pressure go up. Now, unfortunately, you have no pain, nothing. You're not gonna feel anything. So you will continue the same old lifestyles, everything the same. So very quickly you move to stage 3, and majority of people now in stage 3 still do not feel anything. They will probably find out that pre-diabetic stage, which is stage 3. They just find it surprise. 80% of people say, "Oh, I'm pre-diabetic." So how did they know? Because doctor every whole world measure the same thing. The hemoglobin, they measure a percentage of sugar attached to this hemoglobin. Like for example, if your uh, A1C, they measure the HbA1c. It's called hemoglobin percentage sugar attached to this hemoglobin cells. If your A1C is 5.7 and below, you're a normal person. A1C 5.7, 6, and 4, then you are pre-diabetic. Unfortunately, during the pre-diabetic stage, you're not really a diabetic yet, so there's no medication for you. So the doctor usually say, hey, now you are pre-diabetic, you have to really change your lifestyle. You have to cut down your carb intake, you have to cut down your weight, you have to exercise, you have to measure blood sugar regularly to understand that you are not keep going up. So a lot of these things telling you, but on the other hand, you now capture that because you have no really incentive to do things. But that's one thing definitely help you is you can drink Lowsutea, definitely help you lower your blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. So net result, if people who drink Lowsutea, most likely they will never change to real diabetic. If you don't do anything, unfortunately, you will actually end up, it will be stage 4. You become a diabetic patient. Now, once you get diabetic, your record there, you continue to move up to diabetic. You really can come back to, so-called pre-diabetic stage, except you clinically, you can come back, your blood sugar can go down low to 6 and below, but your record, you still say you are diabetic. So that's the unfortunate thing. So you don't want to get there. So, but question is why we drink Lowsutea? Well, Lowsutea has 2 things. One is they have guava leaves, which delay the absorption of sugar into the blood cells. So you have less sugar circulating the blood vessels. And then bitter melon increase the insulin sensitivity, take sugar back to the cells. And then from there, your cell get energy, and the excess sugar, which is bitter melon, and the excessive sugar, bitter melon has some magic. They will really basically dump all the excess sugar and bad cholesterol and also salt from urine. They don't reabsorb. So bitter melon is very, very good. They do not reabsorb the sugar, the bad cholesterol, and the salt. When salt also removed from the urine, the blood pressure come down. So basically, what Lowsutea help you is you lower your 3 high, your blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. And that's why you need to drink Lowsutea every day to help you to maintain low blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. Now, we do not just want to tell you to drink Lowsutea because we have this program basically show you how to do low carb diet, low fat diet, And then you basically keep yourself, remember you're supposed to take only 150 grams of carbs a day. Oh, so you can able to kind of gather, measure, so you always put yourself in low carb diet and low fat diet. And you exercise, you walk every day, 8 to 10,000 steps. You also control your weight, so you lower your weight from, very even as high as BMI 30, you go down to 23. You can also listen to your doctor webinar, like every week that we give you this free medical webinar for you to learn about your disease, what is diabetes, why high cholesterol is bad for you, why blood pressure is bad for you, why blood sugar is bad for you, what's the consequences, and also teach how to measure your blood sugar and track it. So this is something that's what we do. So hopefully from there, your A1C even as high as 10+% will drop you down to at least 6 or below. A lot of people actually achieve 5.7, but you got to work on it. Definitely, you can do it. It's whether you want to do it or not. Now, we have this YouTube channel, which is in YouTube. You just go to YouTube and then type down CTTEASLOWSUTEA/video. And basically, this is all the recording. We have 370 somewhat video in there, teach you about the diet, exercise, weight control, and how to measure blood sugar, all that in there. So you can select the topic, the one you want on your free time to listen. So it's really good. It's very, very easy. And they also have a reels in there too, can make it easy, 1 minute lesson, kind of speak. So it's wonderful to have that. So you can always review the video that we play every week and then go from there. Because what we want to empower you understand the disease so you and act on. So, okay. So anyway, we can start now. So what is caffeine? Caffeine actually is stimulate from coffee, could be tea, could be chocolate. Okay. So nowadays, when you drink coffee, most likely you have stronger caffeine. Tea, the caffeine is slightly different from coffee. It doesn't give you a palpitation, but coffee definitely will give you the heart go pump, 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 pump. Okay. That's why it can affect, potential. You drink too much coffee, affect your heart. And also it affect your brain, okay, and also increase alertness and energy because they give you this energy, so you say, okay, I don't feel tired anymore, I go work on it, things like that. However, this caffeine stimulate your body. They also give you stimulate the adrenaline. Adrenaline, as you know, is this fight adrenaline, ready to go. It stimulate release adrenaline. So when you have adrenaline, your heart rate definitely goes up, your blood pressure goes up, and then also affect your insulin sensitivity. Now, net result, your blood sugar circulating in the bloodstream will go up also because it give you all this energy, get you ready to fight. Okay, so that's why when you have adrenaline release, that is something that will affect, and that's what caffeine does. Now, also caffeine affect the whole body metabolism, right? Because now you have all alertness and ready to go. So now you have your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, and then your blood sugars also be up and processed differently because they are ready for you to fight. Alertness, right? So that's why your blood sugar is so, that's why caffeine does increase your blood sugar somehow. As you know, the blood sugar is called glucose in the body, is a fuel for you to energy to go act on. You have to have energy to go fight. So when you have caffeine, it does really get more energy for you so you get ready to work. Okay. Now it's also there's in blood sugar basically you have insulin because it's supposed the insulin takes sugar to the cell. So insulin is like the key to give you sugar fuel to the cells, right? So this balance is very important. You cannot really screw it up, right? So caffeine does in blood sugar, it shows that in caffeine, there's impact for some people. It actually cause short-term spike of blood sugar. Now, this is particularly on type 2 diabetic patient, it really go higher, more impact to the type 2 diabetic patient person. And when you take caffeine, most likely because you need more energy to work, most likely for even a normal person will elevate the blood sugar in temporary. Now, however, if you continue a lot of caffeine, like a guy who actually drink caffeine, oh wow, 4 or 5 cup a day, or in a work, or even more, then in long term, this is actually potential affect you as an individual, not only blood sugar but also blood pressure, da da da. So all these things will come in. Now, in a normal person, if you drink caffeine, like energy drink or coffee, yeah, it will cause a temporary increase of blood sugar because they need energy to work, right? But it's not significant because of the fact that you're a normal person. However, for a type 2 by diabetic or pre-diabetic, this is somewhat issue because you don't want the sugar to spike, going up, eventually going down, and it will go up longer and stay up longer. So you have a high blood sugar for a period of time. And on top of that, it affect your insulin, how react to this blood sugar. So it can be an issue that you don't want to have always have in a diabetic or diabetic. You don't want to have your blood sugar go up and continue to be up for a long time, eventually come back down. And that's what happens when you drink caffeine or coffee or energy drink for diabetic patient. You will have certain effect, definitely. On top of that, caffeine is causing an insulin sensitivity, which they decrease the insulin sensitivity about 10 to 15%. So if it decreases the sensitivity, that means your blood sugar are more circulating in the bloodstream, and that will be more damage for you. Remember now, if you have more sugar in the bloodstream adding with the cholesterol, you're going to have more forming, more plaques everywhere in the body, right? So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure you have low sugar in the bloodstream, not higher. Now, if the insulin sensitivity is about 10 to 15% affected, no sugar go back to the cells. So they all circulate into the bloodstream. That's why it's bad for you. However, it's certainly in short term, caffeine actually reduces sensitivity, but at the same time, because the sensitivity decrease, so now you have to take more insulin to process the sugar, which go back to the cell. And on top of that, caffeine interfere with the adenosine, which impact the insulin production and cellular response. Okay, that's so the cells are not as respond to insulin as good. So again, it's a vicious cycle. More blood sugar in the vessels and more plaques are going to form. So at the end of the day, if you have more caffeine drinking, that's why when people drink coffee and all that, it can really disrupt your sleep. And really, again, when you get less sleep, you diminish the sense. Again, you screw up your insulin sensitivity, and then you will also get more stress, more sugar issue around the bloodstream again. So net result, overall, when you drink caffeine, especially at nighttime you cannot sleep, or during the day 5 6 cup, all that is affect your sugar going up, and it doesn't help you to lower your blood sugar at all, and that's why it's not good for you. Now, you might say, hey, how come, my friend drink coffee doesn't affect them and affect me or affect, another person more worse? Well, first of all, the person that is a normal person, he is, doesn't have by diabetic or pre-diabetic. So certainly, maybe that genetically they can really have very easy metabolize the caffeine. So net result, it doesn't affect them. And that's why I'm saying, caffeine can be affect really individually. It's not only you, it can be other people. And also, because this individual can tolerate caffeine much more. So net result, after you drink it, the impacts is not great for this individual. And that's why people say, oh, I don't want to drink coffee at dinner because it doesn't affect me. I can sleep very well. So usually the type of beverage of coffee like black coffee, green tea, or sugar drink, any drink, all that can affect your blood sugar, especially for pre-diabetic, diabetic person. But for some individual, it doesn't affect. So when it will be a good time to drink coffee, but what is the worst thing you do when you drink coffee? The important thing when you drink coffee, don't drink with an empty stomach. Because when you have an empty stomach, it gives you a stronger glucose response. And especially with that, that's when your sugar goes up higher. So make sure when you drink coffee, make sure you have something you're eating or so forth or whatever, but not to drink an empty stomach because it will be stronger for your sugar. So this is something that you need to think about. So if you are diabetic, you worry about blood sugar, so you can actually, that's why I said to my friend who has an ability, and they would drink coffee and then they check the blood sugar, they don't stick themselves. And you know what? They found that the blood sugar spiked real fast and go up as high as 7 or 8, is maybe 150, 160. In US and Hong Kong, 7 or 8 millimole per liter. So you see there is a event that is actually spike the sugar. And especially if they drink low empty stomach, that even get that more dramatic at the number. So you always want to drink coffee with something in your stomach, and also actually in the sense that not only the sugar issue, can also your stomach will start forming, giving out a lot of, when you drink coffee with no empty stomach, you also can increase a lot of acid out from your stomach, which burn your stomach wall. So that might not be good either. So you always want to make sure that when you drink caffeine, make sure that is the time that you know for yourself, because individuals event differently. Maybe you want to do it in the morning, a cup of coffee, but after that, that's it. Because it will not affect your whole day. So really depends on your your capability to handle caffeine. Okay. So the myth is that everybody respond to caffeine differently. And if you are a person, a pre-diabetic or diabetic person, maybe you have severe effect of caffeine, or the B guy might not be as affected, or even if they have no diabetes, they don't have any effect. So really, it's not every body the same, has same effect with the caffeine. So you gotta basically check yourself. You have big effect or you don't have big effect. Some people actually drink caffeine, even a cup of coffee in the afternoon already. They cannot sleep. So that's how bad it is. Okay. The second myth is that also, if you say, "Oh, I can't take caffeine, so I take decaf." Now, not all decaf coffee is also caffeine free. So they might contain a small caffeine amount and it will still affect you. So don't take all coffee all the same, or take all energy, say this caffeine free energy is not the same. So you have to be careful on that. Now, also, as you know, nowadays, a lot of the energy drink does have caffeine in there. Energy soda, or even some supplements. Some of you have caffeine pill. So you have to understand you gotta drink, or you gotta take pills, or you have to. So if you have that, you have to understand how much caffeine that will be for you and affected. So you have to determine, is it really you want to take that affect your blood sugar, although you want to energize. So you gotta take a look whether that affect you. So really at the end of the day, it's very individualized and you have to check it out yourself, because that will be best thing you do. Say, if I drink the caffeine, do I get increased blood sugar? If I stick a finger, if you don't, then what, how long it lasts and so forth. So that will be all individualized. Now, certainly you have alternative for you. You don't have to actually drink the caffeine, coffee. You can actually use, maybe think about Lowsutea. The reason Lowsutea is basically that's total natural There's sort of guava leaves and bitter melon. It tastes very good. You can ice it. Actually, a lot of my customers in the United States will make 2 big bottle, either 700 ml or 1 liter of Lowsutea, just like this, and they freeze it or they chill it, really chill, make it to like 2 degrees, and they put some lime in there, so they got something that is very chill and drink a whole day long. So now you have a caffeine-free. Lowsutea is totally caffeine-free. There's no caffeine there. It's total natural. And so you can drink it anytime throughout the day. And plus that, you can help you to lower your blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. So really, Lowsutea can be a true caffeine-free choice to support you for the whole day drinking. And basically, you can it will not affect the sleep, and it's a healthy alternative than drinking a cup of coffee. And plus, you drink cold or you drink hot. It is both can effectively lower blood sugar and cholesterol. So, in conclusion, you know that if you drink Lowsutea, it helps you to lower your blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure because guava leaves actually delay the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream, and bitter melon increase the insulin sensitivity, take sugar back to the cells, and excess sugar, bad LDL cholesterol, and salt will dump it out through urine so you don't reabsorb. So all 3 high will come down, your blood sugar, blood pressure, and blood cholesterol. So all that will be very, very good for you to help you to maintain good blood sugar level, and also because you can drink cold and hot, and you can use it as an alternative beverage. So in conclusion, caffeine can temporarily raise the blood sugar. Now, and really depends on how much you drink, certainly, and individual is very different. A person could be no effect or little effect. You can be very effect or lots of effect because you're type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic. So you have to understand what affect you. And you really have to understand how the body, react to this caffeine. So if you have ability, we're good to check it out. If you drink coffee, when it goes up, bang, or it doesn't affect you at all, or it will give you a slight increase. So really, you have to determine that. But for sure, if you have, caffeine drink, especially a sugary caffeine drink, like you go to Starbucks to get a mocha, uh, uh, ice freeze coffee. Now, because the sugar, they definitely spike the sugar. And the key is you take this sugar energy drink or caffeine, high sugar, it spike the sugar tremendously, and it maintain for a long time. And that's what you don't want, because you don't want to have the spike, maintain sugar a long time in the bloodstream, so they mix with a heavy LDL blood cholesterol, and your blood becomes thick as from plaques everywhere. You want to eliminate. So you don't want to have a long time sugar circulate in the bloodstream. So net result, it'll give you more damage. And so no sugar spike is good. So, but on the hand, you can able to have a caffeine-free option, like for example, using Lowsutea. So you can able to continue the whole day to drink that with icy Lowsutea or hot Lowsutea, which continue to lower your blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. So today's lecture will give you a alternative. It's a caffeine coffee, and give you a better understanding what is caffeine can do for you. The important thing is the objective is not to get more sugar into your bloodstream circling around. If you have any question, do write to us, Andy@wahfong.com, ANDY@WAHFONG.com, or give me a WhatsApp, which is 852-6792-8891. 852-6792-8891. So we have a lot of people actually write to us and ask us for more questions. If you like this webinar, give us a heart, give us a thumbs up. That will be good. And I hope that you can continue to enjoy good health, and we will continue to serve you with more knowledge of the different reason why you have to lower blood sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure, and how you do that, and give you a lot of strategy, a lot of background information, so you can decide to act. Okay, thank you very much for your time again. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend and keep healthy.